When I started my business 22 years ago, it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I could take really good pictures. I would charge them a certain amount of money, and I would put it in the bank. Wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't have a lot of competition because back then there wasn't any Facebook, there wasn't Google, anything like that. So the only people that I had to compete with were the other photographers that could afford an ad in the Yellow Pages. So if you're watching this and you don't know what the Yellow Pages is, go ask your mom. And there wasn't that many. There was probably, I don't know, 6 of us in there that was under the photography heading, and people would call us and we would book, and that was it. And that was pretty easy. However, what I found out when I decided to go full time and I quit my day job, that it wasn't that easy because I was doing a lot of work. I was always broke, and I just was not happy. End of discussion. I was just not happy. And then I discovered the real secret to creating a business and life you love. And I'm going to share that with you today. I want you to know, though, that over the past 22 years, I've had a lot of successes. I've had some failures. I've quit once or twice. But my entire outlook changed once I figured out what I wanted, how the business could fit into my life. I wanted to work to be able to live, not live to work. And that all starts with clarity. Now, I know I've been MIA for a couple weeks if you are a regular follower of the channel, and I've been working on something that I think you are really going to love. When I first launched the MK Academy, I had a vision in mind with what I wanted it to do. And I jumped right in, and for all purposes, it's going really, really well. But then I took a step back and I asked myself, if I was a new photographer, what would I need? Now, later in the year, my course, Prioritized and Profitable, will launch, and it's really a mentorship program to help new and intermediate photographers build a solid foundation. However, I know that as a new photographer, and when I was just starting out and what I would say dabbling, I was a hobby photographer getting paid, I probably wouldn't have invested in a course. I would have bought the Cliff Notes, per se. So when I really started thinking about that and knowing that the course is still a few months out from launching and accepting applications, and I also know that I have a lot of people that are following me that they don't really want to wait for the course. So I said, what is it that I can give them, the Cliff Notes, the condensed version that will help them? And I created the new Photographer Starter Kit. Now, a little bit of history, and if you don't know this, photographers are very right brain. It's why they can take really pretty pictures, because the creative side of their business, backwards, I don't know which way you're doing. The creative side of their brain works really, really well. The other part of that is that for some people, the left brain doesn't function as well, or they've never had to use it. I was very fortunate before I became a photographer that I was an accountant, which is all left brain. So it was easy for me, after I realized what I was doing, to sit down and create a plan to run my business the way that I wanted to. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, because you're going to hear me say time and time again, to be a successful photographer, you have to take off your photographer hat and you have to put on your CEO hat. And here's what that looks like. It looks like you got to know if you're pricing for profit. You got to know how much time you're spending. You got to know what your advertising is going to look like. And most importantly, you have to know what a successful business looks like to you. If you're a note taker, I want you to write these 3 questions down because I want you to really think about them. The first is, how much do you want to make? I'm all for big dreams. Okay. However, like if I wanted to take my business from $10,000 a month to $40,000 a month, I can't do that overnight. And I've been in business for 22 years. So it's important that you set goals, but it's also important that you make them feasible. All right. The second thing is, how many hours do you have to work your business? Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to have to sacrifice some, okay, because time spent in one area takes time away from another. But you really need to get a grasp on it, because if you say, oh, well, I can go shoot 10 sessions on Saturday and Sunday, at some point you're going to have to edit those and deliver them, and you're going to have to spend time advertising and things like that. So you really want to get a grasp on how much time you have. Now, you might say you only have 2 hours a week, and that is okay. We just need to figure out how to do as much as you possibly can with the 2 hours that you have while you are building. And then number 3 is, how much do you need to charge to make that happen? And here is my average sale for senior portraits falls somewhere between $800 to $1,200, okay? If I want to make $2,400 a week, I can either do 2 sessions at $1,200, or I can do 24 sessions at $100. No way, shape, or form do I have the time to do 24 sessions. So when you price your photography, you have to price it so that you make the money you need in the amount of time you have. If you only have 2 hours a week and you want to make $200 a week, then your session needs to be $200. Okay. Coming soon, I'm gonna, I think I touched on this already, I'll be launching the Prioritize and Profitable Business course. But in the meantime, and the reason why I've been missing in action is because I took the information from a couple parts of the course and I condensed it to give you the Cliff Notes for the starter kit so you could get started right away. You don't have to use this. I'm going to put a link in the profile, but I'm going to tell you what each section is about. If you want to use it, its regular price is $47. It's $27 through the end of March. So you can jump in and grab it. And so your first one is, I ask you a lot of questions. It's a brainstorming exercise, and it goes over how much money you want to make, the time that you have to spend, the products that you want to offer. Okay, so that's what section 1 is about. In the second section, and I think this makes the whole guide worth $47, there's a pricing calculator, and you literally, it's in Google Sheets, and you can plug in the information that you got from section 1 based on your priorities, and it's going to tell you how much you need to make per session. Okay, and then session 3 helps you line up or create a marketing plan for the entire year, so you know what to be focused on every month. You don't want to get out of the bed in the morning and say, oh, I need some sessions. What am I supposed to do? So this is just a very basic marketing plan that's going to walk you through how to do that every step of the way. Final thoughts for this week, because I like to keep it under 10 minutes or so. Your personal priorities are the key to designing your business. Don't discount that. If I compared myself to the other photographers that are making, you know, well beyond 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, I can guarantee you that the life that they live is not the one that I want to live. I can also guarantee you that the photographers that are shooting 10 sessions on a Saturday might be completely happy with that. Um, but it's not the life that I want to live. So you have to get really clear about how you can make your business work for you. As always, I am here to support you and I am cheering you on. Make sure you take a peek at the starter kit, which is in the comments, and make sure you subscribe because I will be back next week.